fish. Mad eyebrows. Duck face? Let's face it, my duck face isn't that attractive. Oh, it's so hot in here. I'm dying. Bye. Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you simple steps on how to cover a blemish, doing the same exact steps you probably do in your everyday foundation routine. The key is really a nice heavy-duty concealer or these simple methods that I'm going to show you. You really need to know the techniques on how to cover a blemish to make it like gone. You can use the same techniques, but you need to know how to do it, if that makes any sense at all. I just figured out myself on how to do it. These are the techniques I do. I'm not a professional makeup artist by any means, so this is just what works for me. I hope it works for you as well. Also, this video, I am doing a mix of high-end and drugstore makeup products. So I try to use all drugstore, but some things you just need to use high-end. But anyway, so if you guys want to see how to get this look, oh, and on my lips, because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions, I'm just using a Mary Kay lipstick or lip gloss, or what do they call this? Just a liquid lip color, and this is in Raspberry Ice. But anyway, so if you guys want to see how to get this, how to cover up the makeup, plus I'm going to show you the bronzer and the blush on how I do that, then you can just keep on watching. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is you want to pin back your hair. Okay, so now you guys can see my skin is not perfect at all. I actually have like a really bad blemish right here. That is the whole purpose of why I'm doing this video, to show you, because I've been struggling on how to cover up these blemishes, and I couldn't figure out a way. So basically, first thing you want to do is you want to exfoliate your skin. Well, you want to wash your skin and then exfoliate it and then put on your moisturizer. First step you want to do is you want to start with a primer. Now, I'm going to be using this one by Arbonne today. This is such an amazing primer. You can also use, this is L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. This is such an amazing primer as well. Use the Arbonne one, and I'm just going to pump about one pump onto my hand, and it's just about a pea size. I'm just going to rub this into my skin. I like to dot it all over, and then I like to kind of rub it in, mainly focusing on the areas where I've got pores. Well, I've got pores all over my face, but the areas that I have like a problem with, my upper lip, I've got bad problem with acne, or not acne, breaking out, and around my nose and this blemish, so I really want to make sure to get over those. And then right here, this area, like my T-zone, because I also have a problem with oil there. Okay, so foundation. There are 4 different foundations that I recommend you try. There's plenty other foundations. These are all drugstore, well, except for one. So I'm going to start with the 2 that I highly recommend. This one I'm going to use today. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, and this is just in porcelain. This is such an amazing foundation. Honestly, I say that this is the Revlon Color Stay 24 Hours one. These 2 are definitely dupes for each other. And then the last drugstore one is this one by CoverGirl, and it's their Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. This foundation is not as heavy, or it doesn't feel as heavy. It's not as full coverage, but this is just the Mary Kay Time Wise foundation. It still covers up very nicely. It still is a heavy duty foundation, but it's not as heavy. It's going to use the e.l.f. one, gotta shake it up, and I really like this because it's got a pump, and I'm just going to put about 1 full pump onto the back of my hand. I like to just kind of dab my foundation on. I'm using the e.l.f. brush. I just kind of like to dab it on and buff it in a little bit, like this, and I get under my eyes, around my nose. Also on the areas that you've got blemishes, like right here for instance on my nose, and if just a light layer foundation won't work, you can dab it like this, like a stippling motion, and it covers up a lot better rather than like just buffing it. And it doesn't irritate when you buff it. It irritates the blemish a little bit, so when you're just stippling it on, it doesn't irritate your blemish too much, and you can see it's already kind of covering up. Okay, so now that we've got our foundation on with that brush, I like to take my hands and I like to press the foundation into my skin. This gives a more flawless coverage or flawless finish and a more natural looking finish because there's not a ton of foundation caking on your face. You're pressing it into your skin. And it makes it look 10 times better and just more flawless, like I said. Now for concealers, there's a bunch of different concealers you could use. One concealer that I tried recently and I'm absolutely in love with it, it's good for under your eyes for blemishes. It's the Maybelline 24-Hour Super Stay Corrector Concealer. This is such an amazing concealer. It's nice, it's creamy, so it's perfect for under your eyes. It's also really, really good for blemishes. This is not drugstore. This is the MAC Studio Finish SPF 35 concealer. So this concealer I really recommend because it's nice, heavy duty, it's full coverage, it will really cover that blemish up very, very nicely. So another like medium to heavy duty coverage concealer is the Benefit Boing Concealer. This concealer is really great for covering blemishes. It's really great for covering redness. That's a big problem. Usually you have to go in with a green concealer, but this covers your redness like amazingly. So today I'm actually going to use the MAC concealer on my blemish. And most of my brushes are dirty. Normally I would go in with like a nice kind of buffing kind of brush, but it's dirty, so I'm just going to go in with my finger. I'm just going to get some on my finger. And I'm just going to place it onto that blemish. I'm also going to place the excess around my nose because I do have pretty bad redness there. And then on any other blemishes or anything you may have, scarring, anything that you don't want to show through your makeup. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my finger because honestly your finger is the best tool you can ever have. It blends nicely, so I'm just going to kind of push in an upward motion from under the blemish. I'm going to push downward from on top of the blemish and in on both sides. And what this is going to do, it's going to really cover that redness and cover that blemish amazingly. So you're just basically pushing the concealer into the blemish. And of course you want to go on top of it to blend the top of it out. And then just blend everything else out. So as you can see, my blemish, you can obviously still see the, there's a bump there because this thing's like frickin' Mount Everest. But you can't see any redness and it's very hard to notice unless you're like, whoa, 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 like all looking up, and unless somebody's really looking up in your face like in every direction of your face, scanning your face for blemishes, no one will be able to see that unless they do that. Now from under my eyes, I like to use the CoverGirl one because like I said, it's amazing, and it's really, really great for under eyes because it doesn't get into your fine lines, which that could be a big problem with concealer, so it's really important that you find a nice concealer. And I just like to take my ring finger because it doesn't tear at my eye, and it's the weakest finger that you have, so it won't create wrinkles. And then I'm just going to, in a patting motion, blend out my concealer, and I like to bring it down the sides of my nose and up, kind of in like an upside down triangle, and then onto my eyelid just to blend it out a little bit better. Now this concealer is a little bit darker on me just because I am white as Snow White, probably even a little bit whiter. But like my sister likes really, really brightening and light concealers, but honestly I find that a dark concealer covers up. If you've got really bad dark under eye circles, a dark concealer covers it up better. That's just what I find that works better. I mean, that could be like, I don't know, I'm not a makeup artist, so like I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I just find it works so good for me. And as you can see, it blends out super, super, super nicely. The camera doesn't really pick stuff up that well, so I don't know if you guys were able to tell of my blemishes before. But anyway, okay, so next, powder. This is the powder I recommend. It's the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. I recommend this powder for under your eyes because it is such an amazing powder for under your eyes. You know how powders can really cake up under your eye area? This doesn't. It still sets the concealer and foundation, but it looks super natural, like you're not even wearing powder, and it helps kind of give a little bit extra coverage on your face for any blemishes. And I just go in with the foundation brush I use because this is such a dense brush that it works so well. So I'm just going to press that into my skin. Pressing it into your skin is the smartest way to go because if you're swirling it on your skin, you're ruining what you just like put on your skin. Like if I'm swirling it over my blemish, all that concealer is going to swirl around and all that foundation is going to wipe off. It's going to swirl around and wipe off, and you don't want that. You want it to stay there. Okay, so now for bronzer, I'm just going to contour. I usually like to contour with a shimmery bronzer, but apparently you're not supposed to do that. Another really great matte powder or matte bronzer is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It does an amazing job. But I really like to contour with a shimmery bronzer. I know you're not supposed to, but I like to. So this is just a MAC one. It's from their Hey Sailor collection. But actually, it says it's from their Hey Sailor collection, but this bronzer they're actually selling in their normal line. I don't know what it's called, so I can't tell you that, but I just know it's one of their bronzers that they have. Okay, and so for blush, if you have a blemish on your cheekbone or under your cheekbone or like right above your cheekbone, anywhere near your cheek where you would put blush, if it's in your temple, do not go with a shimmery blush. If you go with a shimmery blush, it will kind of highlight that blemish that you have, and you don't want to highlight it, you want to conceal it and take it away. So go with a matte blush. This is just one by Wet n Wild, and it's in Heather Silk. I know it looks really scary, but it's very nice and light. I'm just taking a blush brush, and what I like to do is, instead of smiling, I like to kind of contour with my blush a little bit. So I do the same thing as if I were to contour my face, the same like face motion, and I kind of smile into it. I know it looks like a really messed up smile, but I also forgot to put powder under my eyes, so I just go in with a small brush. This is just an e.l.f. blush brush, and I just put it under my eyes to conceal all that, or set all of that is what I should say. So that is everything I do for my face. Here, I'm going to take these out because I look really like an alien. Okay, so that's what I do on my face to kind of conceal blemishes and hide them. That is my everyday foundation routine, plus blush and contouring. I don't highlight my face because I just don't like to. So that is how I cover up my blemishes. This video is also going to kind of double as my fall foundation routine. I hope you guys really like it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and like my Facebook page. And don't forget to ask me questions at ask.fm/FizzyFallsForYou. And don't forget to leave what videos you want to see in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!